Hello everyone. I've been trying to make this video for about the last week, and I must have sat down to record it a couple of times, and it the way I've articulated it or something hasn't felt right. The way I've been trying to pass on the message in my words hasn't felt right. So I thought, well, today I'm just going to sit down and open to channel on camera and then let the guides talk through me and let them bring through the message to you themselves, because I have a feeling that my humanness has just been getting in the way a little bit too much. And maybe it's in my interpretation. So I thought, we'll let them speak directly, and we'll bring it through that way. And whenever I deepen into channeling, everything just opens more. My heart opens more, everything opens more. I let go of any kind of judgment that I might have of the words that, even the words that they're saying. Because if I sit down and write it down and I go back to it and then I read it, then I can, maybe put my own spin on it. And I don't want to do that. So it's much easier to open to channel, and then the message is more pure, more clear, and delivered in a way that hopefully will be received by those who need to receive it, and hopefully in an articulate, in a really articulate way that is understood. Lots is going on at the moment. I know that you guys know that lots is going on at the moment. Lots is going on astrologically and galactically, and even on the human level. There's just so much, and to try to cover all of that in one video, well, we just wouldn't do it. So I'm hoping to sit down and do a series of videos in the coming weeks, and hopefully put out videos. I always hope to put out videos a bit more regularly than I have been. But then, I kind of hit on a theme, and then the theme opens and develops and becomes deeper, and then I've got to embody it in my daily life and go through it and just be human with it, probably throw a few tantrums, integrate it before I can actually get on here and speak about it. And those of you who really are embodying the work will know what that's like. Sometimes you just got to go be a basket case for a few days before you can actually start to verbalize and vocalize what you've been through. So bear with me. I'd like to be putting out stuff a little bit more regularly though, so do bear with me. A lot of shifts and changes are going on, and one of the things that you might notice is that when you look in the mirror, you might feel like you've gone through such a deep change that you might not even recognize yourself at the moment. And that might be a visual thing. It might feel like, do I even look like me at the moment? Lots of us, I'm being told the galactics are saying, lots of us are getting some galactic bleed through. So you might feel that you look in the mirror and look a little bit more alien in some ways. And they're saying that's happening on a DNA level. Your light's shining through. Some of your innate qualities are coming to the surface. So you might find that you look a bit different, even though others might not think you look different. Others might just say to you, oh, you look really well, or something like that. So it's like the light codes are shining through, but you might actually think that you're looking a little bit otherworldly. So that's interesting. A couple of other things to mention is that many of you may be experiencing incredible heat in your bodies. There's sort of like a surging of heat. And I know a lot of women have been kind of experiencing this as sort of perimenopause or menopausal symptoms. Now, the only thing is that some of these women are quite young and some of these women are quite old. Many of these women have already been through the menopause. So I don't feel that this is necessarily a menopausal symptom, although it might, if you are in the menopause, it might be kind of adding on to it. But this feels like it's kind of a daily heat, and also especially heightened at nighttime, and it might kind of be coming through as night sweats as well, and sort of hot and cold shifts. What the guides are telling me is that this is happening to some men as well, but it's happening a lot to women, because all wombs are connected through the collective womb. And what is happening is this great purging of all the repressed kind of anger and emotion and grief that's been held in the feminine for so long. And it's actually now coming out through our physical bodies. So that's another symptom that you might be experiencing, alongside sort of feeling and seeing, sensing any of these kind of visual changes. There's very much a message to come out and shine, come out of hiding, throw off your cloaks and hoods. You know, this thing of the wise woman having to live on the edge of society in the forest and be isolated and on her own. We're clearing that paradigm. We're clearing that paradigm. We don't need to live like that anymore. The wise woman can have a family, can be in union, can be part of the community. The point is that we're rejoining society again and coming out of that that feeling of isolation and separation and all of that. They've also said, and they haven't said this in today's channeling, but just looking through some of my notes from other channelings that they've brought through very recently, is there's about to be a real, you'll start to see it soon. People are going to start to get really intrigued by their elders again because of the mystery that they hold, and especially older women. It's going to become cool to be an older woman again on this planet, thankfully. So older women, don't hang up your cloaks, don't hang up your hats just yet. It's now cool to be an elder. And they're saying that, you know, even younger men are going to be especially intrigued by like their grandmothers, by their elders, and especially the elder women, because they want to learn what their elders have to say. So there's a lot coming through here. I'm just seeing if there's anything else out that I need to give a shout out to, or that I need to let you know about. Yeah. Anyway, you'll see what I mean. There's a lot going on here with that contract ending. It does feel like a lot of people, but especially women, who've been doing their work behind the scenes, in secret, out of fear, and or feeling like they don't have a place in the world, or that they're not seen. It's your time, and it's time for us to see each other. We're all finding each other. We're all reconnecting with each other, and there is huge safety in number. So the other thing the thing about this message is, this is quite specific. This message is coming through from the elders, and it's an elder collective. So if this message that I'm about to put up doesn't resonate with you, don't worry about it. There's likely to be more messages coming through in the collective for those that they do resonate with. They've been quite specific about the groups that they're talking to in these messages coming through today. And there's 3 specific groups. One is for a particular group of people who predominantly have an O blood group, and the O negative blood group being quite, they've pointed that out. The other one is the wise women. So women over the age of 40 predominantly. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're over the age of 40, but if you listen to the message and you resonate with it, then take it as meaning you. And the other one is the parents of the new children coming through. So 3 groups that they seem to be just wanting to offer guidance and support to at this time in our collective awakening. So the message starts with some light language, a little bit of light language, and then I open to channel and the guides step in. And I won't say too much else about it, other than to say enjoy the channel, and just know, just a reminder that channeled guidance, the words I speak are just one part of it. There's a lot going on in the subconscious levels. There's a heck of a lot going on energetically. I would suggest when you're listening to the channel, just to, you know, if you want to, you can close your eyes, go into your heart, and just feel the frequencies coming through. Most of it will come through in energy. You're likely to feel a bit of emotional release with this one, I'm being told. So you might want to have some tissues handy. And just, if your emotions flow, just let them flow. A lot of you will really feel the release. That there's they talk about a big contract that was released, especially for the wise women when Pluto went into Aquarius. I definitely felt the shift in that, and hopefully many of you will too. You can always set intention that if you're not sure if you were part of that contract, you can ask your higher self, please release me from that contract now, so that you get the benefits of the release. But I will leave all of this with you, and I'll let you watch the channeling. And as usual, I'd love to hear your comments. I don't always get the opportunity to go on and personally respond to comments on YouTube, but I do read them and I do take them on board. So thank you ever so much. The other thing I'd just like to let you know is that I have started a new I'm calling it a multidimensional magazine on Substack. I've joined Substack. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, it's a great platform. And it is called alchymystic.substack.com. I'm hoping that it will have its own kind of domain name in time, but basically I'll be sharing on there channelings, written channelings, poetry, articles, anything around kind of awakening, ascension, processes. And it's a way for me to, I guess, share more in a written way some of the guidance that's coming through. It's only very new. I only launched it a few days ago. And if you want to sign up to it, you do receive an email straight into your inbox. Your email inbox whenever I post on there. I think you can choose to subscribe or to follow. So if you follow, you can just go on there and check, or you can choose to receive the emails. And these will be like just direct messages into your inbox. I try not to do them too regularly, so I don't want to spam people, but they're just beautiful offerings with information that I think will help and support you during this time. So please do join me over on Alchymystic. It's Alchymystic, so Alchymystic, spelt in the old alchemical way. And I'll put a link below the video as well, so that you know where to find it. And as always, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram at Alexandra C. Wenman. And I'm hoping to start doing some little readings and things on my Instagram again this year, but it's just finding the time to do so many things and so many offerings is getting a bit tricky. So I'd like to probably focus my efforts here on YouTube. But anyway, we'll see how we go. Please join me on Alchymystic and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Enjoy the channel and be kind to you. Thank you. Be still, beloveds. Be at peace, be at peace, be at peace. Rest the weary heart in the shelter of love. Be still. Be restful. Be recharged. Be healed, be healed, be healed, be healed. Be healed this night. This night be healed, this day be healed. We come to you as the elder collective of the earth and many star nations. In each of our home dimensions, we are the elder wisdom keepers of what we would call the power. The power as you have known it on your planet has been actually held in a distorted program. The power has been abused and misused. The power that was God-given to all has been harvested, funneled, hoarded, stolen, and misused. The power, which you might call the creator force of the universe, is now in a process of gradually being restored to the all, and that means you as an individual. There is truth in the saying that with great power comes great responsibility. And so each individual on your planet is now facing themselves. You will be asked in your droves now to turn inward. There is a collective reckoning, as you well know. But the depth of this reckoning will go far beyond what you ever could have expected. For the more you turn inwards to find your own core wounding and programming, at a certain point you come upon a threshold place. And when you pass this threshold place and enter the void, and remember yourselves as one that is part of the many, you will begin to start pulling programming from the collective through your own experience and life and through your own body. And here, this is where we would say the healing journey begins to become as long as a piece of string. You then take your place in the great unraveling for the collective. You have truly known yourself as one within the one. Humanity is returning home to a reunification of the one soul of the divine, but within individualized form. And what pains one pains the many, and what pains the many pains one. You are reaching a pivotal point in your collective consciousness where you can no longer go on inflicting pain on the other, lest you know it will inflict pain on you. It will have repercussions, and those repercussions are becoming almost instantaneous. For those of you who have walked the conscious awakened path, by which we mean those of you who are consciously going into your inner programs, reframing and healing yourself. Every time you step from the path of integrity, it will have immediate repercussions. For your knowing has become refined. We wish to speak of a few groups within your collective at this present time, those who are leading the charge, specific souls who have chosen specific physical vehicles in which to carry out their work, because the physicality has been so geared towards the optimal experience for their purpose to unfold. And we speak of this on a physiological level. We wish to speak of blood group. We wish to offer a message of support to those who belong to the O blood group, and especially the O negative blood group. There is a collective of ancient souls who have chosen to incarnate as both men and women, but predominantly women within the O blood group, in order to carry out their work. Many of this group are elder souls, what we would call elder souls, older souls, as you would put it in your linear time. Souls who have lived many incarnations on earth and beyond, and have chosen again and again to return to help in the Great Awakening. While many are male and or other gender persuasion, we would say the majority of this group consciousness has chosen to incarnate as female and within a female feminine form at this time on the earth. We come with a message of support for this group. You will resonate with this message if you have felt for a long time that you have powers beyond the limits of normal, everyday human possibility. And if you have felt a great frustration about the limited way in which your powers can be used here in this dimension. You may experience a kind of trauma attached to the limited perception of those around you, and wonder why they cannot see or experience the world in quite the same way that you can. And while there are many others in other blood groups and other groups that feel a similar way, there are none who are experiencing this in quite the same way, with quite the same depth as the O collective, as we would call them. For the O collective are a group of original souls who carry the codes of remembrance within their very DNA of what it is to be an original human. O, as the oldest blood group on the planet, is encoded with memory. And some of that memory goes back to the time of Lemuria and before, when humans were in form and formlessness and knew themselves as human and divine. And you are returning to this form as we speak. We wish also now to acknowledge and offer support to the wise women of Earth. And by wise women, without diminishing any other, we would be specific as to what we mean. The true wise woman, or witch as you may know her, in times of old was an elder, wisdom keeper, and healer within her community. And she had a place and was respected within her community. Most of these wise women in linear age, we would say, are 40 years old and above in chronological years on your human timeline. And in your current timeline, in Earth years, these women are souls who have incarnated into a female body and who refer to themselves as women and female. It is difficult as a soul to come into the body of a woman, walk an awakened path, and maintain your dignity as a woman and a keeper of the great cosmic womb. There have been many agendas that have moved against you over many thousands of years. It is a brave undertaking for a soul indeed to be a female way shower. And by way shower we mean an individual who truly embodies the practices they teach and utilize through their alchemical work. Wise women, it is time for you to be seen. We understand the pain that you have gone through in not fully being seen on this earth plane. We wish to acknowledge the trauma that you have felt and experienced as a result of the eons of suppression, abuse, and attack you have had to experience, and the energies that have moved against you because of the power you hold the power to wield the void, the power to wield the darkness in the womb of creation, the power to bring together chaos and creation for the betterment of the all. And we would say that the true wise woman is here for the all, and not merely the few, and not merely herself. There is something very particular about being a woman, and this is to do with the endlessness of the emotional intelligence she holds, and it is built into the matrix of her physical form. It is built into her chromosomes. It is built into her reproductive organs. She is the birther and the nourisher of all life, whether she is a mother or not. Many wise women are mothers to many. Many wise women have found themselves under attack and abused due to the projection of the mother wound and the witch wound and the sister wound. So we would say, hail to the wise woman, wise women of earth. Do not give up. This is your time. An ancient contract has been lifted. This contract was dissolved the moment Pluto came into Aquarius in January 2024. There was an agreement made in the higher levels previous to your incarnation that for a long 15 to 17 year period, your magic, which you may have learnt to wield in younger years, would cease to work to the fullness of its capacity from the year 2007 until now. Many of you would have felt your magic switch on to a very high level and then almost immediately seem to switch off. This was agreed. Although there has been a definite agenda to suppress, reverse, and undermine your efforts to heal yourselves and each other and indeed the collective, you did agree to this at a higher level. And this will have the effect of a great slingshot in energy. You agreed that your collective power, your womb power, would be held back like a great dam for a number of years. And those of you who have experienced a never-ending dark night of the soul for the last 15 to 17 years will identify with this contract and identify themselves as part of this group, many of whom belong to the O and the O negative blood group. Connect to your higher self and acknowledge that the contract to hold back your power and your magic, your alchemy, and your positive intentions for the earth has now been expunged, destroyed, uncreated, and dissolved. The collective womb power dam has broken open, and the selfless efforts of the wise women shall be felt far into your human future. And those who have suffered in their unacknowledgement for their efforts will soon see themselves rewarded, appreciated, and acknowledged. There are those who put you down, attacked you, denied you, abused you, sometimes with great cruelty. Many of these were people you believed loved you and whom you loved very deeply. Some were family, some even partners and dear friends. There are many of you who will find that some of these people who denied you will return to your lives and ask your forgiveness or your support. We leave it up to you as to whether or not you choose to take them back into your life. But we would invite you and implore you to forgive. Forgive the soul, if not the person, for none may be left behind, and you do yourself a great disservice in holding on to unresolved pain, grief, and suffering. It is our wish as the Elder Collective that you step fully into the slipstream now of your glory. There is a sense of disbelief, and this disbelief is held in two parts. Disbelief that you would ever see the light of day again, and disbelief at the great miracles being bestowed upon you, for you will see evidence. Do not shy away from that evidence. These two parts of disbelief must be merged, and in this we would say to you, believe, believe, believe. For all that you have been told and working towards is coming to pass, and the time is now. Finally, to the parents of the new children coming in, we honor your bravery, your commitment, and your courage. These new souls, many of which are unfamiliar with the ways of the world, are coming with new knowledge to seed into the human collective. They are coming in waves, and their ways may be unfamiliar, and they may seem not to fit into society and many of the systems we have here. Those of you who know yourselves to be parents of these new yet ancient souls, We honor you. Be patient with yourselves, for you are learning from great sages in very young bodies. We leave you with this. The peace you are seeking lies always within, and it is your job to bring it into your world. How you choose to do this is up to you. You know the way, for you are the way. Follow your way to your peace, and it shall be so. We are the elders of the elder nations, and we leave you with our love and gratitude. Aho. So just to say, that was it's 15:15 on my clock as I just came out of that channel. And just to say, those of you who resonate with these messages, just be super gentle with yourselves, be super loving with yourselves. It's as though I get this image that you're cracking out of a great big egg. It is like almost like a birth to a new life. And you probably feel like a tender little chick as it comes out of its egg. And it does make me think of that thing, which comes first, the chicken or the egg? There's so much in that. And, that feeling like you've been through an awakening and feeling like you just ground the information, you're embodying the last lesson, and wham, you get hit with the next lesson, and then you sort of realize, oh God, I got to go back to the drawing board here. Everything I believed I was or thought I knew about where I was going has changed again. And that's feeling more rapid than ever. It's like lesson after lesson after lesson after lesson, embody, we've got to embody this faster and quicker and deeper than ever before right now. But I do get the sense that we're being held. We are being held. And it's like we're crumbling any walls that we've put up against compassion, against our own compassion, or to keep compassion out, to not receive for whatever reason, for fear usually. And also there's this immense sense that, what we're capable of, our light and what we're capable of is quite terrifying. What if we succeed? What if we become all that we're meant to be? What does that actually mean? There are many people on this planet actually starting to work at genius level. And, I've got a few clients at the moment that are really tapping into this kind of genius level consciousness, but they're frightened to bring it to bear. They're frightened to actually anchor it into their daily waking lives. They've been abused for it in the past, or there's conversations where people just aren't getting them. And now we're being asked to anchor this light and bring it into our daily waking lives. And that sense of, desperately wanting to be seen and acknowledged. And when you meet someone who gets it and who gets you, there's this homecoming, this feeling of homecoming and real like, oh my God, I know you, I'm seen. Finally, I'm seen. In those moments, there is an exchange of codes. So you might actually feel shifts in the body. You might feel like energy passing from heart to heart or solar plexus to solar plexus. And this is really like kind of bodhisattva level exchange. We know each other. It's like an unspoken empathetic telepathy that's going on. And you'll even find it in your daily waking lives where you feel people change in your presence because you've done the work and you're embodying the light to such a level that people are just going through shifts without you even needing to facilitate for them. They're just changing in your presence. You could just, don't even have to say anything. And I'm finding this more and more. It's quite miraculous, really beautiful alignments going on now. And as a humanity, I'm really starting to feel that oneness of our soul. And we know as healers and alchemists that, we're mirrors of each other. But that doesn't mean to say that knowing that you can go within to fix any programs, it doesn't mean to say that you need to be overly critical of yourself, right? You can go in and fix the program, but don't be like, oh God, it's my fault that this happened because I have this program. We don't need to be going into criticizing ourselves or each other. And just to say to be kind wherever you can, however you can, but that kindness really does start with you. It's always been what the masters have said. It's so simple, but some of us are harder on ourselves than we would be to others, especially the empaths among us. Be kind to yourself. Be loving. Be impeccable to yourself. And then you'll stop reflecting things out that would mean that others won't be impeccable to you. Such deep level self-love and forgiveness coming through here. I'm probably going to try and make some more videos over the coming weeks. There's a few other themes coming through, but I don't feel like this video is the one to share them on. It just felt important to let the elders speak. Within that elder group, you will know a beautiful group of beings known as the grandmothers. There are other channels channeling the grandmothers, and I really felt them come forward, especially with that message for the women. But when I started speaking, I really felt an elder, masculine elder. He felt very Native American, very kind of shamanic. But he felt like a star being that had incarnated into a human body. So I really felt him doing the light language through me at the beginning and again at the end. And I felt like he was the one that was talking to the children as well. But definitely the grandmother collective came in to speak of the wise women and that contract being dissolved. So that was beautiful, and confirmation as well. I've had confirmation of that as well with a few clients and with myself as well. And if there's any other information that needs to come through around this channel, because I feel like it's sort of being revealed more and more, and there may be more coming through over the coming days, is that I will share in another video here. And for those of you who've been in absolute great pain and on your knees with suffering, no matter how much good you have done, no matter how much you've been working and striving, one of the things I know about people who are predominantly of the O blood group, it's not to say that everyone doing this work is of an O blood group, but I know that many of the O blood group, and particularly the O negative blood group, have this kind of global reach. So the more work we do on ourselves, the more it seems we're having an impact on the collective. And it's really interesting because O is the universal donor when it comes to blood donation. So we can give to everybody. And I feel like it's as within, so without. So I'd love to hear from you guys. If you are an O blood group and you've been experiencing some of this, I'd love to hear from you, because I'm seeing so many, lots of predominantly women, but not all women. I've got clients and students that are men that are O blood groups, and they've just been having the most existentially difficult time while doing incredible work and really working hard to change themselves for the better and to help the collective. And it's just stay true to the course. Don't give up now. Be totally loving and gentle with yourselves. It's not for nothing, is what I keep getting. It's not been for nothing, and it won't have been for nothing. And we're tapping into the many and knowing ourselves as the oneness, which of course O is for one, number one. Anyway, on that note, there's much to ponder. And just to say that you are loved. You are loved. Thank you for watching, and I will speak to you soon.